Yo,
We are
ladies
here.
and gentlemen, what is good? Axel, welcome back. It's been a minute, man.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yeah, by the time we start recording again, holidays came around. We got busy with work. You're just moving into your home, right?
Yeah. Now we have steady quality for you guys. No more bullshit of having to deal with, you know, the the whole bad quality videos because of the internet. Now we got steady quality,
For now, at least. All right.
at
So
least
the
for now.
topic we're gonna jump into today is our second part to a video series. I think we should do more, but we're just gonna get into the second part for right now, and that's
Yeah.
anabolics. Anabolics part two.
Sheesh. Flip this
Um,
around for a minute.
Yeah, that was a really quick video we did last time, and we didn't really get much into it. But
Yeah.
Axel, obviously, you're the hope I can call you a pro in this field,
Now you can call me somebody that knows about it. Call
knowledgeable.
me knowledgeable about the subject, I'll
Yeah,
say. And
cool.
I'll say that we also from the anabolics part one, although it doesn't have a lot of views, I got a lot of personal messages from from different viewers saying that they wanted a part two, that they liked the video. So
Yeah, man.
this is a request.
So just to jump into like some background, obviously, right now, I think anabolics are becoming a lot more of an accepted PED.
Yes,
If that's the right way to say it, but I think that's why people are curious about it. There's something that a lot
yes,
of people don't know is that the side effects vary upon person, and I think Axel can elaborate a little bit more on how he's been affected.
yeah. So the best way to explain it, or the simplest way to explain it, is whatever type of person that you are, multiply that times like five, and that's pretty much how you'll feel on anabolics. That's the best way to explain it.
And what about you and your experience?
Well, in my experience, and I would say 90% of users would tell you the same thing. You're gonna experience a lot of anger because, I mean, if you think about it, testosterone is, one of the key elements to a man, right? So when you add more of that, part of being a man, there's some aggression to that. There's some aspects that come along with, the element of anger, masculinity, all that. So you add more to that to the body, you're gonna have more effects. So yeah, there's a lot of anger that goes along with anabolics. And if you're already an angry person like myself, you're just gonna become nuts. And if if you look at some of the cases, I mean, some people that have abused this drug, they've actually, gone as far as killing other people or killing themselves. So it's nothing to mess around with if you're not psychologically ready for it. By the way, guys, the reason I'm talking all weird is because of this new shit that I got in my teeth. So,
What is that?
oh, it's just I'm already at the top, at the finishing my last month of braces. So you got all this. Uh, I forgot how you said all this. What do you call
Rub-
this?
rub-
These forget what you call them in English. Ules. Forget the name.
Bands.
Yeah, bands, rubber band action going on.
It's all good, man.
So
So
yeah,
a lot of emotional,
for
a
me,
lot
yeah,
of emotional behind it for you
for
personally.
me.
What about people that you know?
Well, I know some people that does are not affected at all, and I know some people that are affected even more than me. Like for example, like I saw this guy. I won't say no names, but I saw him at the gym, and he was taking the same cycle I'm on, or I was, no longer on the cycle, but he was taking the same exact cycle I'm on. Has a lot more experience than me. And one day, dude, I saw him, and he was like, he had like this face, like this, like, And I like, dude, this is a guy who's always happy, who's always in a good mood, and he was literally like this, like, and I was like, "Hey, what's up, G? How you doing? Hey, what's good?" And he was like, "What's up, man?" I was like, "Whoa." The juice got to him. Later on, like I just texted him like, "Hey man, what was up with you today?" And he was like, "Man, I just felt like shit. Like the juice. I don't want to. But like, what do you feel?" Just, I don't feel anything. And I was like, "What? What do you mean? Don't feel anything. I don't feel like saying hi to nobody. I don't feel like talking to anybody. Just I don't want anybody talking to me." Like some people just it hits them in a different way, you know? Like not really aggression, not really emotional. You just don't want anyone to deal with you. Like you want to deal with anyone, you know? Just surrounded in your own bubble. The juice, the best way to explain it, it will blindfold you from being able to see how you will normally see. It's gonna put a blindfold in your eyes, whether you want to accept it or not. I mean, you see all these big people on YouTube, people like the guy with fake weights guy. If he, you know what I'm talking about?
Who? Athlete X?
No, no, he well, he got caught with fake weights. No,
Allegedly.
there's another guy. Um, he's very big. Brad Castleberry.
Okay. I know who
Brad
you're talking about.
Castleberry. He got famous off lifting fake weights. You see the way he speaks? Not normal, not normal stuff. So when you start, the more you take.
Elaborate for people who
Okay,
don't know who that is.
so for people who don't, if you Google or you watch videos, you're gonna find a lot of videos of Brad Castleberry. And if you look at his interviews and the way that he speaks, you can get an idea of like how anabolics affect some people. Like he to this day he claims it's natural. Anybody with half a brain knows that you cannot obtain that amount of muscle. I mean, just by doing a little bit of research, you're gonna learn that the body is not capable of carrying that much muscle because our natural testosterone levels do not go up that high. So it is literally impossible. It doesn't matter how many years you've been training as a natty, how many years you've been dieting. There's a specific amount of muscle level that you cannot have unless you inject more testosterone in the body. You want to call that fake? Go ahead, but it's the truth. Like anybody would go ask any doctor. Like that's why we don't have hulks walking around, you know, because it's impossible unless you're on the gear, unless you're on HGH. For anybody that doesn't know what HGH is, human growth hormone. Never tried that in my life, but for all steroid users, that's the top. Like that's the most expensive thing you can take because when you're talking about human growth hormone, I mean, when you're talking about steroids, you're talking about building muscle, right? But when you're talking about human growth hormone, you're talking about literally growing every single cell in your body. Like that's next level because you're talking about you're gonna grow everything, even your feet, your hands, your internal organs, your eyes, your mouth, like everything that you are as Axel or Daniel, it's gonna grow. So not only the muscles are gonna grow, everything, man, everything. So that's very dangerous because if you think about it, you don't want heart enlargement. What's that gonna do to your heart? Now, if you start dealing with if you start messing with HGH, you better be careful, man. You're setting yourself up for a funeral. That's what you're doing. You're literally altering your body. Your body's like what it is. Like now, you're not talking about just muscles. You're literally altering your entire growth as a person, like your cells and everything. That's another thing. It's one thing to alter your hormones, which is what you do with steroids. What you do HGH is you alter your entire fucking DNA. That's another level, you know?
With that being said, you knowing all the negative side effects and
Yeah.
experiencing it to some degree, why did you choose to continue with the use of anabolics, and is it where are you at now?
Um, why did I? Well, honestly, I always wanted to try supplements, and I was always open to the idea of taking it. And one day I was just introduced by it. I talked about that in the Anabolics Part One for those of you who haven't seen it. But now that I have been, uh, you know, more knowledgeable with the subject, now I know how to do it better. And anybody that knows that's been taking steroids for a really long time, that's how the moment that you start messing with it, you're gonna start investigating more and more and more. And eventually, you get to a level where like you already know what you're doing. And the reason why I do it is just it's like a hobby to me. I'm not competing. I'm not a physique model or anything like that. It's just it makes you feel powerful. It makes you feel good. Like when you're natty, unless you're on diet or you're fasting and you look amazing, because there's a lot of natties that look amazing. Cheers to those that are natties and look amazing. But if you're not one of those people, if you're just a regular guy and you inject some anabolics, or any type of person that injects anabolics, if you're a natty, your muscles are always flat. What do I mean by that? Like they're just flat. They're just there. They're kind of just there. And the only moment that you really feel that your muscles are jacked is when you're actually pumping them. When you're in the gym exercising them, that's when you see, woof. That's when you feel the chest. Like that's when you feel like the pump, right? And you feel you're exercising and they get all big and juicy. Well, when you're on the juice, your muscles are tensed all the time. So that all the time they feel more round, more muscular, the veins popping out more. It's like you're always exercising, I guess you could say. Like I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like you're always pumped in a way. So that's
Yeah,
why like you see all these steroid users, you see them walking around like, whoa, look at that guy. Yeah, you're always pumped. Like you don't need to be at the gym. Like you're always pumped when you're on the juice.
nice man. And real quick, to just to interrupt, want to give you credit. You got to give credit where credit is due. And you've always been open about your use with steroids, even amongst your inner circle, even
Oh
amongst
yeah,
really on social
yeah.
media.
Yeah, I
What
hate people that are close to. I mean, people that lie about it. I hate people like
I mean,
bro, don't.
you see it every week. Every week on YouTube, you got some guy who's denying allegations.
Yeah,
I'm
like
not gonna put
why?
any
Like
names
you're
in
not.
there, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, some people do it for the legal matters, but other people are just, bro. You're not motivating anyone. What you're doing is lying to people. I mean, some people actually believe like Simeon Panda is a natty. Some people believe the Brad Castleberry is a natty. Some people believe um, where's this other guy? Bradley Martin is a natty. Like, come on, bro. Like,
well, and just coming from like somebody from my perspective, being an addy, dude, like it's hard finding quality content because there's hardly anyone who's really open about being a steroid user. The only people I can think of is Greg Doucette and more plates, more dates. Um, and they're just open about it. You know what I mean? Look, they have a well respected audience, or an audience who, you know what I mean, is just more open to more, I don't know, more receptive to their content because they can just be straight up about it. But for people like me,
yeah,
it's hard to find a YouTuber who just isn't throwing complete BS at you.
yes, it's very hard because people like to play this game of, oh, look at me. I got these really nice gains all by myself, no help. And that's just not the truth. It's literally impossible.
All right, man. We're gonna come to the end of this podcast, but I'm gonna ask you a few more questions. These are just some quick questions you can go ahead and answer. But let's get to
Sure.
it. Who are your biggest influences regarding bodybuilding overall?
Well, I was always my biggest influence was always Rich Piana because he always said he was very motivating into not I wouldn't say like Rich like motivated me into taking steroids, but I remember in one of his videos he said, "Are you willing to throw the dice?" Because when with steroids, you're rolling the dice, man. You don't know what's gonna happen. Like some people, I mean, they tried it one time, they die. Some people have tried it for 40 years, they're living. So you're rolling the dice. In one of the videos, he said, "Are you willing to throw the dice, roll the dice?" And I said to myself, "I'm willing to roll the dice." I wonder what that says about myself. Why am I willing to roll the dice? Now we're getting to another topic, right? Like, why? If you're competing, I understand, but is it for someone like me that's not getting anything else out of it, just personal reflection? Why am I willing to roll the dice? That will be another video. But Rich Piano motivated me into rolling the dice because he said in one of his other videos, "Do you want to live 70 years as a fish, or do you want to live 40 years as a shark?" I don't know about you, man, but I choose shark every fucking time.
Awesome, man. And another question: what flexibility has injecting steroids given you?
Flexibility?
Yeah, like can you just go ahead and eat like shit now that
Well, it
you know what I
depends.
mean? Like
I'll give you an example. If it's your first time and you're doing a cycle of I'll tell you what people do their first cycle. They usually do regular test with tritren. They combine it with tritren, which is trenbolone. Three different types of trenbolone. I believe it's acetate, and there's other two. They have weird names. That's usually what people do on their first cycle. Tritren with regular test, double substance. Um, when you do your first cycle and your body is first introduced to the steroids, I guarantee you that will be the best cycle of your life. And I don't know if you remember when I was on my first cycle. You probably do. We used to go out a lot, and I used to eat like shit. No diet, nothing. Used to eat whatever I wanted, and I had an 8 pack. I was ripped, and that was the best physique I ever had. Because the body was just, bro, it's like a brand new thing. But now that I've ran so many cycles, it doesn't work that way no more. Also, I was 17, 18 back then. Now I'm 24. The body doesn't function the same way. It doesn't burn fat the same way, even if you add the juice to it. Now I understood the reason why this cycle was so successful is because you helped me understand the importance of dieting and fasting. So I was able to have a nice physique before the juice. So once I added the juice to the physique, it was like, whoa. Everyone at the gym was like, "Wow, dude, you look awesome." And it was like, yeah, that's because I looked awesome before the steroids. So once I added the steroids, it was a boost. It wasn't like before that it was like, "Oh, I look like shit and I'm adding the steroids to look good." No, it's like I already look good. I'm boosting myself to look even better. So now that I'm off the juice, you can see I'm not trying to brag, but like I still look good, and I'm off the juice, and that's because I take care of my diet, and my diet is that will be another video when we could talk about dieting and fasting. But one thing I am done talking about or arguing about is fasting. I'm sick and tired of people that don't understand. We have to make a video about fasting because it pisses me
sure.
off when people give me shit for fasting. It pisses me
Yeah,
off, bro.
I know.
I've lost so many friends because of that, bro. Like, why are you fasting? You're gonna get all, bro. You don't know what you're talking about. Like, don't I hate? And I'm sorry if this ain't makes anyone mad, but I hate people that talk about stuff that they don't know about. If you haven't tried it, if you haven't read about it, if you haven't done enough research, don't talk about stuff that you don't know. Don't judge things that you don't know. If you're not a master, if you're not a professional, don't talk about it like you are. I'm not a professional of the juice. Like we said at the beginning of the video, I just have some knowledge of it. because I've messed with it. I've talked to a lot of people. I've done multiple college essays. I mean, I'm knowledgeable about the subject. I'm by no means an expert, but I can tell you a lot of things about steroids.
Awesome, man. I think this is kind of the first time you and I haven't discussed it, but I'm gonna announce it. Just based off the way this video went, the feedback we got from the first anabolics video, we should make this a series, and we can down the line make a series on fasting as well, or a set of videos. So
Yeah,
you guys let us know if you're interested. You know how to get to us. If you don't, I will provide that information in the bio. Comment down below, which I don't know if anyone's commenting right now, but one day they will be. So anything you wanted to end us off with, man?
yeah. I just want to end with, if you're a natty and you're interested with taking steroids, chances are down the line you probably will try steroids. Don't try the pills. Usually, a natty is afraid of injecting. Uh, I was a natty. I was afraid of injecting, and I tried the orals. Do not try the orals, man. You will have like very little gains and a lot huge side effects, because the orals, man, they have to go through they have to go through the system. The system has to, the liver has to digest it, and it's a whole different ball game. You're gonna get a lot of zits and too many side effects, too many little gains. So don't go for the, if you are gonna go down that route, go through the injections, man. And if but my advice would be, do not try steroids at all, because if you do try it, you're gonna see how amazing they are, or how amazing they could be, and believe me, they become an addiction.
Awesome, man. Thank you. All right. You guys know how to get to us. Hope you enjoyed the video. Axel, go ahead and end us off.
Guys, all of this is just advice. At the end of the day, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Oh, yeah. Till next time.